true. I like the part when you said, because I think that this always comes into play, so I heard you say genetics. So obviously genetics can play a big role in how our skin handles discoloration. Can you give us a little bit more information on that?
Well, I think probably how I can give you that information is more when we're talking about the solution, because it gets into the genetics.
Oh, well, then let's talk about the solution.
Okay. So you really need to do two things.
Okay.
And I always say, no negotiation, no
Be on
exception,
the system.
whatever you want. But this is what you have to do. Number one, you want to get the old pigment out of the surface faster.
Okay.
That makes everybody happy. Because even though you haven't addressed the underlying issues, the fact that your skin just looks better and it looks more luminous. And that starts off with the skin care management system.
Right.
Okay, so this is critical. And I don't care if I'm working with a celebrity, I don't care if I'm working with a world famous physician. It all starts with the skincare management system. And what that does is, number one, it gets the old pigment out of the surface a lot faster, and it makes the skin very extraordinarily smooth, luminous. It makes follicles look smaller. It also helps to address the appearance of rosacea, appearance of acne, all of those things. And when your skin is really smooth and radiant, light reflects away and you don't see the imperfections the same way. Okay?
Good point.
Now, to give you an example, because everybody always says, well, how can we be on the same system? And how can we, have different concerns? I'll give you an example of just one of the products in the system, and it's BioClear. Now, BioClear is glycolic, salicylic, and azelaic acid. Azelaic acid is sold by prescription for acne. It's sold by prescription for rosacea. It's one of the best resurfacing agents we've ever seen for the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and pore size. It's a pigment lifting agent. It brightens the skin, so it gets that.
Pigment lifting agent. There you go.
It gets it out of the surface a whole lot faster. Then we have glycolic. And of all the skincare ingredients in the world, you've heard me say this before, all of them that have been studied medically, whether it's histological studies, biopsies, medical conferences, all of them, there are two that have been studied more than any other, and one are retinoids and one is glycolic. And we could talk for hours on the ichthyosis and psoriasis and how it works on thickening the dermis and thinning and compacting the stratum corneum, and I could go on and on. But at the very simplest level, what it does is it dissolves and dislodges the glue-like substance or cellular cement between your cells.
Right.
Causes them to lift off. Guess what? With that resurfacing, gets the old pigment out faster.
Right.
And it also does that in the follicle. Dissolves and dislodges the glue-like substance or cellular cement between cells in the follicle, which is the beginning of the acne process.
Exactly.
So, makes the skin look younger, smoother. And then we have salicylic, and salicylic helps a little bit with brightening and helps a little bit with acne. There are other things in the system that can be dramatically effective to help to sort of transform how the skin functions.
Right.
Okay. So that's the system.